Welcome to another Traveling with Terriers Top 5 with Tommy, Winston, and Louie. Today we're looking at our top 5 tips for replacing your RV refrigerator with a residential fridge.
This is the beginning of the end of our fridge saga. Still can't get the 12-volt fridge working very well, so we decided to just get a residential fridge for the rest of this trip, which is like 5 days. So here we go!
But before we actually get to our top 5 tips for replacing the new fridge, it's important to unbox the new fridge and inspect for any damages, make sure everything looks good. We also wanted to show what it looks like to remove our current Dometic fridge. It's a 12-volt fridge. We know some of you are interested in that process, especially like what exactly is behind there. So this is what that looks like.
First thing when replacing a fridge with a residential fridge is make sure that there's electrical, because residential fridges run on 110 volt. Right inside there you can see we drilled a hole for the electrical cable to go through, and then it plugs in from the other side. How are you going to power that when you're at your campsite, and how are you going to power that if needed while you're traveling? You can get a lot of solar or really good batteries and an inverter to power it while you're traveling or while you're boondocking. We're just going to put freezer packs that you freeze, 1 in the freezer and 3 in the fridge while we're traveling. And then while we're parked somewhere, we always make sure we have electrical. So that's how we're able to use a residential fridge. Another thing to make sure with a residential fridge is that there's adequate venting for the hot air. A lot of these RV cabinets are pretty tight, so we're going to add a vent right about here. We just got a floor vent, and we're going to cut a hole and glue the vent to there so that there's some airflow. Hot air rises, so we're putting it at the top. That's the theory. It doesn't have to be real precise. Clean up as you go along. Make sure I'm not gonna hit this. While I'm here, I know that this thing needs about 3 inches of space to be a little taller. Alright, monolithic duo outside. 1 stone, 2 bird. Okay, let's see if the hole is large enough for this vent. Look at that. This is a part of the plan I'm not sure about, but I'd rather use glue than little screws in this really thin 1/8 inch plywood that Grand Design thought to use to keep the trailer light, I guess. Let's glue this to that panel. Shouldn't be that hot to melt this glue or anything. I'm using E6000 clear transparent non-flammable skull and crossbones glue. I chose a good color. It looks like it was made for it. This is brown. I thought it looked more gray. Jess, would the camera person come over and hang on to this? So we made sure we have enough ventilation, or extra ventilation. It probably would have been okay, but this makes me happy. All right, let's do a little bit of cleanup first. Let's see if it fits better than it did before. Carefully walking this over so we don't scratch the floor. Alright, so it fits. Now we would like to make sure it stays put in transit, especially. We put a 2x2 in the back to where it makes it flush with this, where the front of the box is pretty flush with here. And now my idea is to put one of these brackets right on there to where we can screw it in so that it doesn't move. So we're gonna put 2 of these on there. We're gonna use double-sided tape because I looked this up and every single blog post, you can't trust everything online except our videos. Every single post said do not screw into a residential refrige box because there's like a heating line that goes right along up here in the first ½ inch of the fridge, and a lot of them in the freezer side too. So we don't want to screw down into this box and damage it and have to buy a new one. So we're going to try putting double-sided tape on. Alright, so I'm going to tape it to this first. Take the other side off. Okay, I'm going to put it right up here to where it's flush on the edge. Right there. Oh, I could see where that works real good because really it just has to hold it from moving forward and backward. And that has a lot of friction. I guess if it ripped up off of here, I don't think it will. This job is for the ducks. Okay, the first one was easier. Got it. Okay. Stick that on. Make sure this still closes. Okay, fingers crossed. So I think we're gonna end up painting these to try to match this, or put a piece of real thin paneling over all this. I'm personally not real happy with this idea because I don't know if that tape's gonna hold long term, but well, there's only one way to find out. This is in here so that we can use these tie downs until we find a way to keep the doors from opening. It's kind of a work in progress. Okay, let's do the bottom. Then we're done with securing the fridge. We already did a little bit of custom framing here. I just got some of these nail plates and I'm gonna stack 3 of them together and it's gonna be like this. And it's just going to hold in the bottom here. And there's gonna be one right here too. So it's 3 of these nail plates together. We'll see how that works for now. Probably not the prettiest solution, but it's, you know, pretty solid. And again, this may not have been one of my best ideas in history, but it seems to be working. I just don't know if they make brackets for the fridges, and I was at Menards and wanted to get this project done today. Okay, that fridge probably isn't going to come forward very easily. If it does, it's going to rip the whole trailer apart. So we've secured the bottom. Again, it can't go backward because we have a 2x2 back there. It can't really tip backward without really a lot of force. And it shouldn't be able to come forward because of that double-sided tape. It shouldn't be able to come forward because of these brackets. So there, it's in here. It has good ventilation. Another thing to do with fridges and RVs that we think is really important is to monitor the temperature. These are from Govee. They're wireless fridge temperature gauges. And so it's showing 76.1 Fahrenheit. You can switch to Celsius by pushing a little button on the side. 24.4 Celsius. Pretty warm. It's not plugged in. And then this is for the freezer, and we have one way down here for the fridge. These are just magnetic, so it's really handy to put wherever you want. 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And then inside is where the temperature probe is. A really long cord, and it's flat so that it still stays sealed. And here's the temperature probe, and you can put this anywhere in here. Same up for the freezer. It actually keeps a graph of the temperature over time, and it downloads to an app on your phone, and it can alert you wirelessly if you have Wi-Fi, because they're Bluetooth, and they hop over their signal over to this gateway, it's called. And this gateway is hooked to Wi-Fi, and it sends all of the data. And this is really nice for when you're traveling, so that you can make sure that your temperature doesn't go above safe levels on a long 8-hour day of traveling. We put 3 freezer packs in the fridge, 1 freezer pack in the freezer. The fridge is normally between 34 degrees and 38 degrees when it's plugged in. And at the end of our 8-hour day, it was at 38 degrees still. So it had only risen like 2 or 3 degrees in 8 hours of staying closed. We'd never opened it during the day. That is installing a residential fridge. Thanks for watching. We hope you found some useful information from that, and happy travels.
Visit travelingwithterriers.com for all of our top 5 videos. Plus, download a free PDF of this top 5.